Low spend challenges do not have to feel restrictive or overwhelming. With the right mindset shifts, you can make low spend living feel empowering, intentional, and even enjoyable. And if you are thinking of starting your own low spend challenge, make sure you subscribe because I will be doing a mini series where I share my best low spend tips and tricks and also the lessons that I've learned along the way. And this is episode 1 of this mini series, and in this video I'll share 5 mindset shifts that have made my low spend journey not just manageable but enjoyable. Let's dive in. So the first shift I did was reframing how I see no spend, and this is basically knowing your why. So for a lot of us, we go into no spend after spending a whole bunch of money, feeling really guilty about it, and it's almost like a punishment to ourselves because we spend more than we wanted to, and now we're cutting back really drastically so that we make ourselves feel better. And I don't know about you, but I personally do not thrive on punishments. I feel like it is not empowering, and it feels like you're not in control of your own choices and of your life. So for me, instead of seeing low spend as a punishment for overspending, I reframed it as an opportunity to build discipline and to improve my judgment. And so for example, I would say to myself, I am not limiting my spending, but I am allowing this money to teach me discipline. I'm allowing money to teach me how to make better judgments when it comes to buying the things that I need. And this way, this feels really empowering, and it still feels like the money is allowing me to learn and to experience and to better myself instead of feeling like the money is something that I cannot touch and feeling restricted from it. And this shifts the narrative from deprivation to empowerment, and it really makes it easier to stay motivated. And really knowing your why helps you keep track and stay on track with this low spend challenge, because there will be times where you do get tempted, or maybe you want to quit the challenge altogether, but if you have a strong why, it really helps you to stick to it. So for me personally, I am building my emergency fund because I know that if I have a big cushion for emergency, then I can have anything come my way and I will be able to handle that situation. So since that peace of mind is so important to me, this really keeps me motivated and keeps me going to set aside as much money as I can. So for you, it could be something different. It could be saving up for a vacation, saving up for your wedding, saving up to do something that you really wanted to do for a long time. And when you have a deeper purpose like that, the low spend becomes part of a bigger picture instead of a temporary struggle. And mindset shift number 2 is changing how you feel about spending. I believe that each of us are different, and I think that a lot of people have different ways that they approach their spending habits. For me, I feel guilty when I spend too much money, and that comes from my childhood where I wasn't raised in a mindset of abundance. And even now, my mom would tell me not to spend my money, and that it would make me feel really guilty even if I were to spend my money on things that are necessary. So it was really difficult for me to change this narrative and change how I feel about spending. But what I do to help me change the way I feel about spending money is telling myself that the money didn't disappear, but instead it's just transformed. So what I mean by that is, let's say you use $10 to buy a meal. You could see it as the $10 disappearing, or you could also see it as the $10 transforming into this delicious meal that you are about to have to nourish your body, so that you are then able to go out and do more wonderful things. So when you see that money just changes forms and transforms, you never feel like you're actually losing money. And this is really important because when you are on your no spend challenge, spending is actually inevitable. And what I mean by that is you'll still have to pay for your bills, you'll still have to pay for groceries. Sometimes life just happens and there are expenses that you did not plan for. And when you have to pay for all these necessities, it's important that you don't feel that it's taking away from you, but instead to feel empowered and to feel happy about the fact that you have the money that is able to transform and better your life and the experiences that you get to see. Or for example, when you have to pay your rent or your mortgage, I know to most of us that is like the biggest chunk of our paycheck, and it's very easy to feel defeated or disempowered by having to pay this much payment. But when you remind yourself that you are exchanging the money for safety and security and shelter, then that experience itself becomes invaluable, and you feel empowered and you feel like you're capable of giving yourself shelter. So really, I feel like this mindset shift is so important because it helps you not feel guilty, not feel anxious about spending what you do need to spend, and it also helps you live in the feeling of abundance. One big thing for me was I didn't want my low spend or no spend challenges to feel like it is not abundant. And a lot of the times when you watch these videos, they tell you not to spend on this, not to spend on that, to set all these rules and disciplines and give yourself a limit or a budget. And it can feel like the opposite of feeling abundant because you're so restricted. And that's why I believe that for the previous times I have tried this challenge, I have failed because it really just doesn't resonate with me to live in a life where I don't feel abundant and I feel really restricted. And these two mindset shifts are really what got me sticking to it and made it a lot easier for me to follow through with the low spend challenge. Shift number 3 is being flexible with yourself. And what I mean by this is weaving flexibility into your challenges. So instead of putting a restriction on every single category other than bills and groceries, I allow myself to spend on a category of items that I deem a necessity. So what you could do is identify 1 or 2 categories where you think that spending is necessary. And this involves trial and error, it involves introspection, and it really is different from every single person. So for me, I work really long shifts and I know how difficult it is sometimes to come home and make a meal for myself and have dinner, because by the time I get home it'll be like 7:30. So I do allow myself to eat out maybe once or twice a week, where on the days that I feel really exhausted, I would allow myself to buy something from outside. But I also set a firm boundary in that I will not let myself DoorDash anything. Guys, let me tell you, I think the last few months of 2024, I was door dashing almost every single day, and I did not realize how much expenses that was just accumulated together. And so by completely cutting out DoorDash, I am one, challenging myself to make my own breakfast and lunch every single day, so at least for those 2 meals, I do not have to be eating out. And other than the boundaries I set on food, I also know that I am in my 3rd trimester, so I know that I will be nesting a lot. I will want to buy baby products so that I am ready for my baby that's coming in a few months. So I do allow myself to spend on baby products, but I also set a boundary where I tell myself I will not spend more than maybe $150 at Target if I need to get baby products. So that way you're still allowing yourself to shop, or you're still getting rid of that itch a little bit, but you are only buying the necessities or things that you will have to buy anyway, and you're not overspending on every single categories. And this flexibility helps you to prevent burnout and keeps the experience really positive. Restriction can lead to feeling deprived, which might make you stop the challenge altogether. So allow yourself to be flexible. It is okay, you don't have to be perfect. So this is another thing that I do with my flexibility as well. So if you have some things that you have been eyeing on, or some things that are really important to you that you know for sure that is going to elevate your life, then set a boundary for yourself to allow yourself to buy these things if and when. And I think the best way I can explain this is to give you guys an example of what I mean. So there were these House of CB dresses that I've been wanting to get for the past year, and I didn't get it because I got pregnant and I wouldn't be able to wear them in the meantime anyway. And House of CB dresses are like $250 a piece. Right now, I started this challenge and then I got a marketing email telling me that they were on sale for $80. That is like more than 50% discount. In that situation, I allowed myself to buy the dresses that I wanted only because I know that once I'm done being pregnant, late into 2025, 2026, I will be eyeing on those same dresses over and over again. So I know for a fact that I will be buying the dresses in the future, no doubt. So instead of paying $250 per dress in the future, I allowed myself to purchase them for $80 right now and just have them in my closet. To me, that was a justified buy because one, it wasn't impulsive. It wasn't like something that I just happened to stumble across and all of a sudden I wanted it. I know I've been wanting it for over a year, and it also wasn't like a small sale where it's like a 20% off or 25% off, because those kind of sale comes very often. But a big sale where it's more than 50% off hardly comes around. So I felt justified to make that purchase. But really, this is all dependent on your lifestyle, your personality, and what is important to you. So I'm just giving you guys an example of how I still keep things flexible while I'm still working on this low spend challenge. And this leads into tip number 4, which is preparing for the future. And what I mean by that is create a product to buy list. So instead of impulse buying the items that you want on a low spend month, write it down, make a list, and when those items go on sale or when you're no longer on your low spend month or low spend challenge, you are allowed to buy those items. So this habit not only prevents unnecessary spending, but it also gives you time to reflect on whether you really want these items or not. So for me, I have a list on Amazon, or I have a list on wherever I do most of my shopping. And this is also funny because it feels almost like you're shopping. It's like window shopping. Some people put this in their cart and then just not check out or close their carts out altogether. Or for me, I put it in a list so that I still know that at this point in time, these are the things that I wanted and that was important to me. And then from time to time, I will go into those lists to see if anything was on sale. My rule of thumb is if it's more than 25% on sale, I would see how much the item is and see if I really need it at that moment and see if I want to buy it. If it's not on sale, absolutely not. I'm not buying it in that moment. So for example, if you watched my previous video on skincare, you would have known that I ran out of my retinol alternative serums and I really wanted to purchase it, and the past me who is not on this low spend challenge would have immediately bought it. But because I wanted to honor this challenge as much as possible, I looked through the products that I would get if I was not on my low spend month. I put it in the list, but in the meantime, since those products were not on sale, I looked around my house to see what I could use as an alternative for retinol or what I could use for my treatment days. So I came across my bottles of Estee Lauder Night Treatment Serum and I haven't even touched them. So this gave me an opportunity to really use up the products that I already have. My sheet mask could be used on treatment days as well. And it felt really empowering knowing that there was something that I thought I truly needed and I really wanted, but instead I found creative solutions around it. And it's not like the products that I want to buy is going to disappear in the future anyway. So that was a really fun realization for me. And mindset shift number 5 is focusing on progress, not perfection. And if you got this far into the video, you might have started to feel like I am actually not on a low spend month. But if you guys saw how much I was spending before I started this challenge, you'd be so surprised. I use Rocket Money and they send me a reminder of my spending every month or every week. And literally I sent this notification to my husband because Rocket Money told me that I spent $2,500 less than I did last month. And my husband was like, holy crap, that's a lot. And yeah, I truly didn't realize how much I was spending until I set discipline and boundaries for myself. And now I have cut down so much and I feel so empowered. And to be really honest with you, there are some days where I do buy things that are not necessary, but it's no longer like hundreds or thousands of dollars of things that I do not need. If I do end up shopping or buying something, it's $10 or $15, and it's so rare. I think in the month of January, the only unnecessary purchase I've made was like one item, and that was my cushion foundation because I needed it in a shade that actually matches me. So that was the only thing that I purchased that was not necessary. Everything else I've managed to cut out. I have stayed within my boundaries and my rules and the discipline that I set for myself, and it felt really good. I went into this challenge thinking that I'm only going to do it for 1 month and then maybe take a break for 2 months and then do it again in the next quarter. But this feels so good and empowering to me that I am going to do it in February and perhaps even in March, because another thing that I am going to do is switch up my categories. So I told you guys how this month the category that I'm allowed to spend on is baby products. So maybe in the future I could switch up that category. Maybe in March I could say, all right, baby products are pretty much done. Now I can spend on skincare. And so that month, if I needed anything from skincare, I would be able to purchase it. So this would be another way that I'm tweaking around. It really is a learning process and a journey that I'm going through to make this low spend empowering, and I want this to even last me throughout the year if possible. Another thing that I didn't know that was gonna happen was that dopamine reset from not shopping. Guys, I didn't know that shopping gave you dopamine. I was a gamer my whole life. I know gaming gives you dopamine, but so does shopping. So it was really difficult for me coming from that holiday like Black Friday sale high of just buying things and shopping every single day. No joke, I was getting packages till like mid-January because everything was backlogged from December, and because I ordered so many, I was still getting packages. But once I stopped buying things from the 1st of January, like it was initially such a struggle. I was like, there's no way I could do this. But then a week passed, and then 2 weeks passed, and honestly I think because the packages kept coming, it still felt like I was shopping because I was still getting new things every single time there was a package. But it really helped me wean myself out of shopping, and now I feel really good. I don't feel deprived that I'm not spending, and it gets me really excited to see how much money I get to put away every single month. So I am very excited and happy to share this journey with you, and I really encourage all of you out there to join this challenge with me because it just feels so empowering and it feels really wonderful. And if you are about to start your own low spend challenge, I really do hope that these mindset shifts that I've shared with you helps you in maintaining that challenge and really crushing it, because I believe that you got this. You're more powerful and stronger, and you have more willpower than you ever thought possible. So I truly believe in you, and please like this video if you did enjoy it. Comment and share with me other tips and other mindset shifts that you have done if you're also on this low spend journey, because I would love to learn more from you. And hit the bell icon so that you don't miss out on the future episodes of this series and also other videos that I will be posting on my channel. I appreciate you so much for being here today, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!